Hey guys, it's Coffee. Welcome back to Asagao Academy. I'm gonna read more journal entries. Let's go. Dear Diary. Okay, so I felt really terrible about subjecting Shane to my cooking, but then he had the nerve to say I owed him afterward. I would have said yes to the modeling thing, but normally, but now it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know if I should do it. Dear Diary, he apologized. Again. I don't know how many times we're going to make mistakes. I agreed to model for him anyway, because he was so nice about it, and I want to spend time with him. I'm not sure whether that's a good enough reason, but I guess I'll see. Dear Diary, Shane is being weird about his drawings again, just like at the flower festival. He drew me like he said he would for practice, and after working on it for so long, he just crumpled it up. He's really good though. Why doesn't he see that? Yep, I think that's it. Okay. So yeah. We agreed to model for him, like for his drawings, and I'm getting to know him a little bit better, but we're still just confused about his behavior and how he really feels about us. So anyway, let's continue Chapter 3. Here we go. Mai, do you know how to make crumpets? I leaned back in the chair and made eye contact with Mai, who is sitting on her bed.
Really?
Crumpets? Are we expecting a visit from the Queen? Close. They're for Shane. Oh, good idea!
Bingo!
Stereotypically English. A nice sentiment. Maybe that's just what he needs. Yeah, he's been kinda talking about England a lot. I think he misses it more than he lets on. Is that a weird thing to do? Well, maybe. But you're obviously just trying to think of him. No one in their right minds would get mad at that. Mai nodded. Also, I don't know. I don't know how to make crumpets. Oh, I'll look it up. Thanks. Whoa, you're going to make them by yourself? Yeah? Don't you remember what happened last time? Oh yeah, that's true. After the spicy fish, I don't have a good feeling about this. Well, we'll see how this goes. Let me come this time. Mai jumped off her bed instead of using the ladder. She pointed to the door, a hand on her hip. I'm in a baking mood today. I'd appreciate the help. I could use a second set of eyes. Maybe then I wouldn't Maybe then I wouldn't mistake soy sauce for vanilla. You would do that? Really? Okay. Oh, that apron is cute. Okay, so we have to bring the yeast to life with warm water. Mai took her finger off the flour-covered cookbook and ran to the sink with a measuring cup. I was whisking together the dry ingredients, but Mai had yet to start on the wet. It's already alive, we just have to activate it. Bread is alive? Yes, until you bake it. And then the yeast dies, and you're left with fresh bread. I mean, yeah, what do you think yeast was? Oh. That's so sad. She mixed together the milk and the water. Ready to combine?
Uh-huh.
Yep. I glanced over at the cookbook on the countertop. Okay, it says to pour in slowly and mix continuously. Oops. Slowly? I glanced back at Mai. In her arms was an empty bowl. The ingredients were drowning. They should still be okay, right? Didn't we have her help us specifically so we'd have 2 people reading the cookbook? Okay. I think so. Let's check the consistency. I stirred vigorously for a few minutes, trying to make up the lost time. Finally, it evened out to a similar consistency. Kind of. Looks fine to me. I tilted my head, comparing it to the picture in the book. Yeah, it looks pretty alright. Now we let it rise for an hour. Can't we bake it already? I'm hungry. Mai, these aren't for us. I paused. No, Mai should get half of them. She did help me after all. No, that's sweet. Yeah. I wish, but we have to let the yeast fill it with bubbles or something. Otherwise you'd be eating tortillas. Tortillas sound so good right now. I checked my watch. 4:30 in the afternoon. In that case, you want to grab something while we wait?
Yay!
Yes, Hana, you're a genius. She grabbed me by the shoulders and smiled widely. I took a few seconds to write "Do not touch" in capital letters on a sticky note, then placed it on our covered dough. I was about to follow Mai out of the room when I looked back. I added a please on the bottom of the note. Hana, let's go! Coming. I scooped up my backpack and followed the almost sprinting Mai out the door into the cafeteria. Oh god, why do I have a bad feeling about this? Like we're gonna forget about the dough or something? When we got back, everything was exactly where we left it. Sadly, so too were our dirty dishes. I uncovered our dough, which was pleasantly plump. Oh, thank God. Mai peeked over my shoulder. Ooh, it's like a bald head. I nodded, though I was thinking more along the lines of, well, a butt. Now we knead it? Bake it? I looked over the recipe. Divide into equal-sized lumps and put them in the oven. Oh, the oven! Since we had to wait for the dough to rise, we didn't bother to preheat the oven. As I set it to the proper temperature, Mai formed balls out of the dough on the table. Soon I joined her. They're so squishy. Mai tickled one like it was a kitten's chin. Then we baked them. And they were flat. Really flat. I identified with them. Oh. Oh.
Yeah!
Okay, so maybe they're not airy and light, but they still taste pretty good. She shoved a whole crumpet into her mouth, wincing slightly. It's hot. These are kind of just soft crackers. What do we do wrong? Not enough yeast? Not enough resting time? I don't know, Hana, but they're good enough for me. I'm glad they at least tasted these before giving them to Shane, unlike last time. Crumbs spewed across the counter as she spoke. You can have all of them then. She seemed to like them more than Shane ever would. In that way, it worked out for both of us. Her eyes lit up. Really? I'm gonna stay and make another batch. I mean, I'm sure he would have appreciated this one, but alright. Ooh, I'll help! I smiled. I hoped she would say that. My being there to catch my mistakes made me more confident. And so, we started again. From the beginning this time. I read the instructions exactly as they were written in the book, telling Mai exactly what to do. Okay, so how about we let it rise for a second time? If one rise created air bubbles, 2 rises would make twice as many bubbles, right? Yeah, let's do that. We could also let him sit longer? Good idea. I don't want to make them a 3rd time. After a few hours, checking between studying sessions and meals, we were satisfied with the size of the dough ball.
Yeah!
Let's roll them up! We split the dough in half, 1 for each of us, and rolled them up again. Once we placed them on the tray and into the oven, we started to clean up. Mai had her head under the table. Are you looking for something? She came back up to look at me, banging her head on the edge of the table. She frowned, but otherwise had no other reaction, which was fine because I flinched enough for the both of us. You seen a plastic toy around here? What does it look like? It's a small cat? Oh, like those itty-bitty kitties. Gerard collected those. Wasn't he looking for a rare one? I haven't seen one around, we can check. Why do I have the feeling that it is in the dough? No, it's not that important. I'll just come back later. I'm not even sure if it's in here. Oh, I'm sure it is in here. I'm going to check around the school. Want me to help? No, you need to watch the Crumpets. I'll be fine. Oh, sorry.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, Okay, good luck. Mai winked and jogged out of the room. Finally, it was time to get my crumpets. I opened up the oven, hands trembling. The heat fogged up my glasses, but when the condensation cleared, I saw pure beauty. They were perfectly shaped, risen, and golden brown along the edges. I was ecstatic. I pulled them out, the baked goodness wafting into my nose. We did it. Through teamwork, we achieved the impossible. Impossible for us, anyways. I set them on the countertop to cool, and pulled out my phone to take a picture. Thanks for making them with me, Mai. So pretty, can't wait to give them to Shane. Shane was bound to love them. He had to. After they cooled, I put them into a plastic container and sealed it tight. They wouldn't leave my sight until they were in Shane's hands. English crumpets, done light, toasted, and finely buttered. At long last, the time for delivery came. Shane was already sitting down to eat when I entered the cafeteria. Too excited to waste time, I crossed directly over to him and plumped my plastic bin in front of him.
Hello.
Hello, Hana.
Hi.
I hope you're hungry. I opened the bin and pulled out a single buttery crumpet, then unhooked the thermos of tea from my bag. I made you some crumpets. I have black tea with sugar and milk, too. Shane paled, and I rushed to unwrap the crumpet and show him the unscathed surface. No, don't worry. I followed the instructions to the letter. There's no way I messed anything up. Shane looked less than convinced, but he gently took the crumpet from my hand. Maybe he felt bad for making such a big deal out of it last time, or maybe he knew what crumpets were so basic it was almost impossible to mess them up. He carefully inspected its surface, the butter having cooled and formed a glaze between the cut halves. Not bad. It smells pretty good too. He peeled off a chunk and brought it to his lips. You made them yourself, you said? I nodded furiously. He stared inside the crumpet chunk. He glanced at me again, then sighed. Nothing for it. He popped the chunk into his mouth, chewing thoughtfully. His head tilted from side to side. I was practically bursting, unable to breathe until I saw his reaction.
Yeah.
Not bad at all, Hana.
Yay!
Good, he liked them. Okay. I grabbed the other crumpets from the bin, ready to put them all on display, and in that moment, Shane wolfed down the entire rest of the crumpet. Oh no. Don't tell me. Shane's hand flew to his throat. He croaked, then gasped, then started to cough. He stood, his chair knocked to the floor behind him. The room fell silent as I realized what was happening. Oh, he's choking, isn't he? Damn it! He's choking! Somebody help him! I scanned the room, the normal boots table, the hidden block table, but all the faces stared blankly at me. At this rate, Shane was going to die. I had to try something. Anything. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? You would think that out of the entire batch, he wouldn't eat the one with the toy in it. Okay, let's see what our choices are. Heimlich, give him some tea, ask someone for help. Feed him more crumpets? What kind of a choice is that? Okay, honestly, I want to ask someone for help, but I'm really curious to see what feed him more crumpets is going to look like, and if that means, like, an automatic game over. Like, is Shane gonna die if I pick that one? You know what? What the hell? I'm gonna do it. I reached back into the bag and... Wait, no! That was a terrible idea! Oh my god! Okay. Okay, so even the game knows that was stupid. Okay. Well, I feel like the tea is hot, so... Okay, so the tea is hot, because it's, like, in a thermos, right? So I wouldn't want to give that to him. Like, I was looking at Heimlich maneuver, but we don't know if she knows how to do the Heimlich maneuver, and she's a small person. So that's why I was like, oh, ask someone for help. So, I think I'm gonna do that. At least that didn't cost me the entire game. But whatever. Okay. Oh god. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get the nurse, okay? I hesitated a moment, then mentally smacked myself for assuming he would respond. I bolted from hall to hall until I reached the nurse's office and threw open the door. I may have just killed someone! Oh my god. Wait, that's the guy from the supply closet. Well, now we know who he is. That's weird, okay. Mr. McPasta hunched over a piece of paper at the desk, straightened immediately. You did what? Crumpets, Shane, friend, a little grilled pancakes, and feelings, and emotions, and, just please hurry, he's choking. The nurse jumped to his feet and immediately strode out of the door. Lead the way. Our steps weren't loud against the concrete, but as we neared the cafeteria, Shane's hacking coughs became clearly audible. Shane? Did I really kill the boy I liked with my cooking? His life brought to a cold end by my warm, spongy cakes? I thought I was fast enough. I thought I could have made it back before anything serious happened, but in reality, I abandoned him when he needed me most. Oh god. Actually, this sounds more like my game over. I'm a little scared now. The nurse ran in ahead of me. Just as I rounded the corner, I heard a massive gasp. No, not quite a gasp. An exhale. Shane was doubled over, gasping for breath, his hand around his neck. Mai stood behind him, one hand behind his back. Is it all out? It's fine. Just need a drink. He peered at something on the floor. A thick cluster of soggy, unbroken crumpet. Something violently green was poking out. Gross. Oh, I knew where Mai's missing figure went. Her itty-bitty kitty's head smiled at me from the mush. Hopefully she didn't want it back. I wanted to say something to Shane, but no matter how I tried, I couldn't make my body move. Mr. McPasta gently stood Shane straight.
Are you feeling alright?
Oh my god, his voice. Okay. Are you okay now? Shane nodded, still trying to catch his breath. We should probably do an examination back in my office. When you feel ready, come on up. Mr. McPasta nodded at him and then left the room. I was surprised he didn't stick around, but as the sole nurse in school, it was probably bad for him to leave the office for too long. Okay, but then what was he doing in the supply closet? That's okay. Shane leaned against the chair, much of the color returning to his face. When he finally looked at least somewhat well, he turned to the door.
Shane.
Hana, that's enough. It's probably best to give him some space to recover. That was a pretty horrific incident. Wow, we haven't seen Jared in a while, have we? I can't believe I just ran off. I feel horrible. I don't think this jazz music is appropriate, but okay. Please, if Mai hadn't shown up when she did, then you would have been his only hope. It was the best way you could have helped. It's scary, but it could have been a lot worse. None of us knew what to do, so honestly, thank you, Hana. Jared was as suave as ever, even at a time like this. Lucky I got here when I did. But it's not like a few more seconds would have actually killed him. She smiled nervously at me. My distress was more apparent than I thought. Don't think too hard on it, Hana. It's just another lesson learned for our cooking. Oh, and side note, she's acting much more confident around Jared now, so maybe that's a good thing. She and Jared chuckled, and I couldn't help but smile. Just a little. I just hope Shane was alright. Guilt followed me like a hunting dog. Shane was built into my everyday routine. I went to class with him. I ate with him. I walked the halls with him. It was painful to see him everywhere, especially when I felt so bad. Eventually, I started avoiding him. When people asked me where I was, I told them I had things to take care of. Besides, I really did have more important things to take care of. Probably like studying, because you need to keep that scholarship somehow. I held and the tournament. Who could forget? I held the right trigger button, forcing blocks to lift from the floor. It was how I liked to begin matches, even in single-player rounds. I liked having more blocks to play with. It helped me get better chains, and honestly, it felt better to look at. As I set up my first combo, I glanced up at my score. It'd been 2 minutes, and yet my score was so slow. Even intermediate players know how to focus on score instead of time. Shane popped into my head, and as he did, my hand slipped. I covered the wrong block, and my 11-chain combo vanished from view. No! Are you kidding me? I sighed, starting over from scratch. Jared told me to give Shane some time to sulk, but would he really forgive me if I just let him wallow?
Hey!
Hey, Hana. We haven't seen Caddy in a while either. Oh. How is there ever a bad time to apologize? What if he got mad that I didn't? What if it seemed half-hearted by the time I finally did? Hana? Caddy tapped my forehead. Caddy, what are you doing here? I could be asking you the same thing. Not gonna eat the rest of them? He pointed at my phone, a glint in his eye. Oh, you know, just practicing. Caddy sighed and took a seat on the bench next to me. So, something's on your mind, right? I heard about what was up with Shane. Is it really bothering you this much? I'm not sure what I should do. I want to apologize to him, but Jared said it'd make things worse. I can't help feeling like it's the only option I have. Why do you feel like you have to? It doesn't seem like to me like you have much to be worried about. I mean, that's true. I mean, I don't think a reasonable person would blame Hana for something like that. I mean, it sucked, but it wasn't really her fault. Not much to be worried about? He doesn't even look at me anymore. He slumps around, completely ignoring me. He even turns his head away. It has to be on purpose. I'm not sure it is, though. Caddy lifted his brow at my sudden burst, but didn't seem to be shaken by it at all. He wafted his hand through the air, as if dispersing the moment from time. Hana, you make it sound like you've been doing nothing but staring at him every waking moment. Does he really give anyone any attention if they aren't talking to him? I haven't seen anyone have a word with him for a good while now. Just as you said, he slumps around, dragging his feet, barely alive. Yet somehow he's more productive than ever. I mean, I'm sure the Crumpets didn't help, but he probably just has something going on. He leaned towards me, talking in a slight whisper. Shane's not the kind of person to hide his anger. If he really has a problem with someone, he'll do what he has to work it out. I should know. One time, the British Student Coalition was split down the middle. It was a nightmare. I balked. The idea that Shane wasn't angry at me was harder to believe than the fact that Asagao had a secret society reserved specifically for foreign students. Then, why has he been like this, and why hasn't he told us what's wrong? Wish I knew. Probably because, again, he has problems with opening up to people. For whatever reason, he finds it easier to disappear. No warning, no goodbyes, no anything. Just the absence of shame. Don't take it personally, Hana. Seriously, if he was mad at you, you'd know.
Yeah!
Think of it as Shane's super-secret seclusion season. There's a reason for it, but that reason is for him, and only him to know. I glanced down at my phone, small armies dancing across the screen. If this was all true, maybe I should really leave him alone. Caddy leaned over to examine my screen. That game's harder when you play it against other people, right? Way harder. Anyways, thanks for your help. But, why are you out here instead of having lunch with Hidden Block? You know, I just wanted some fresh air. And I saw you sitting here. No other reason. And why don't I believe him? He chuckled nervously, then stood.
See you later.
Well, it's about time for class. I'll see you around, Hana.
Bye.
Bye, Caddy. See you at the tournament. Caddy turned and screamed at me from halfway down the walk. You'll regret going against us! I watched Caddy go, still feeling a bit unsettled. Everyone kept saying I shouldn't apologize to Shane, but I wasn't so sure. I almost killed him after all. Shouldn't I at least give it a shot? Okay, I don't know, I feel like I get that apologizing might seem like, you know, that actually might be the right thing to do, but my gut is telling me no. Because first of all, the people that know him better than we do are saying to not do it. And also I just feel like if I were in Shane's situation, I'd probably think an apology was unnecessary, or I'd think that it was annoying. I mean, I don't know, it seems like Shane wants his space, and it might be because he's going through something else that we don't know about. So, yeah, I think just to avoid a conversation that might not go very well, I'm just going to give him space for a while. So yeah, let's just let it be. I should just let him be. The others were right. He would come around eventually. Okay, so I think this is a good stopping point, so I'm just gonna call it here. I'm glad that we didn't kill Shane in this episode. Like, I mean, I'm really hoping that asking for help was not a bad choice, because, yeah, I get feeding him crumpets might have been stupid and might have cost me points, which, like, I still don't really know what the tournament points mean completely, but, like, I'm really hoping that is the right choice, basically. Because it seemed like the only logical one, and hopefully that won't come back to bite me. I guess we'll find out sooner or later. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.